Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Did you
Turn my pit into a well. So the essence of my...
Can you all be upstanding wherever you are? Electoral Commission, ladies, everybody be upstanding under this. The President of the Republic, can I see all of you upstanding?
My test is now a testimony. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace.
Adum.
It was you, my lawyer in that courtroom.
He's made their way onto
my soldier on that battlefield.
into the stadium. He's walking out. He's coming out of the car.
My praise is
And there he is. The President of the Republic of Ghana, West Africa.
The essence of my praise.
Very solemn. The man himself.
The essence of my praise.
So we are currently witnessing the arrival of President Akufo-Addo, who is also the leader of the governing New Patriotic Party. He is going around the stadium, exchanging pleasantries with the supporters of the NPP. We can clearly at this stage say that conference is now in session, and very soon the program will get underway. President Akufo-Addo is going around, accompanied by officials from the presidency. A while ago, the Vice President arrived. Trade and Industry Minister Alan Kojo-Shemanten also arrived. We have the Chief of Staff, Ministers of State. We also have members of Parliament, Deputy Ministers, District Chief Executives, and indeed delegates of the NPP. Everybody seated now. And with the arrival of President Akufo-Addo, we can say that the program, the National Delegates Conference of the party, is just about getting underway. And very soon, when he settles into his seat, the program will officially kick off with the opening prayer and, of course, a welcome address by the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the NPP, and that will signal the commencement of the program. Now, in all, there are 6,162 people who are expected to cast their ballot in today's conference, and they are expected to elect people to electable positions in the party, and that will be the second part of the program. For now, we are witnessing the arrival of President Akufo-Addo, and then being the President of the Republic, his arrival will signal the end of the arrivals, and then we'll zoom into the program. For today is the National Delegates Conference 2022 of the NPP. Those who will be elected will serve a 4-year term to superintend over the affairs of the NPP. President Akufo-Addo will also act as the leader of the NPP when the party is in power. So you have him here as well. Now, the rules and regulations governing the conference of the party has said that people who have been delegated to vote in this conference have carefully been selected, and they represent certain blocks in the party, and they are expected to carry the aspirations of the rank and file of the NPP. So, you know, it's 6,163 constituency executives have the largest number of delegates at today's conference. And very soon we'll go through the numbers again for you. But these are the individuals that supervise the organization of this conference. Peter McMahon is chairman. Evans Nemaku, who is the director of elections for the NPP, acted as secretary. Ambassador Edward Boateng, former Ghana ambassador to China, is a member. Mao Sunuake Awiti, Amin Anta, Alhaji Hussein, Kwesi Abiase, Oboshi Saikofi, Gary Nimako, Eric Ntori, and lawyer Emmanuel Dakwa. They constitute a membership of the election committee, and they ensured that the plan of activities that were put in place were fully fulfilled. And that's the reason why we have gathered here today to witness the conference of the NPP 2022. Now, for those who will be going through the election itself, the names and their designation are clearly spelled out in the brochure of the party. President Akufo-Addo is now climbing to the VVIP area of the Accra Sports Stadium, and then when he is seated, it will formally signal the start of the event. I'm here with my colleague Joseph Akable, and together we'll be running commentary on this event. Blake, you just joined us. This perhaps is supposed to be the largest gathering of the NPP ahead of the elections, if you like. The next Congress will be decentralized, meaning people, the delegates will vote from their constituencies, from their regions. So clearly, this is the largest gathering of the NPP ahead of the election. Are you, the numbers and the enthusiasm, what does it say?
I mean, from the entrance, what I could observe was that the delegates are very eager for the process to start. And it makes sense why the party opted for the Accra Sports Stadium. I mean, the advantage of having the floodlights, if it drags into the evening, which we know it will drag into the evening, I mean, that alone is another thing that we have to look out for. The delegates are very eager. A lot of them were trying to get in. Those who are also not coming in are also, having various meetings elsewhere. And for candidates, I mean, the longer it drags, it doesn't really sit well with them, because maybe you have spoken to delegates and you have them on your side. Within the space of just 30 minutes, someone can do something and change their minds quickly. And so the more it drags, it's something that it really disturbs the candidates sometimes.
Indeed. Some few hours ago when I spoke to Stephen Asamoah, that was his major worry. That his campaign, he told the entire 16 regions, he has sold to the delegates his message and what he stands for. And for that reason, he is optimistic that he will be elected. But events in the last hours is telling him a different story, where he is of the view that some of the aspirants are paying huge sums of money to the delegates, and he thinks that the monetary consideration can influence the outcome of the elections. And he is of the view that it will not go well for the party going into the 2024 election. He was of the view that if you what that is happening, he was thinking money was not going to be displayed in the manner that it's been done now. So clearly, and now we are being told that the election itself will happen somewhere after 7 p.m.
Yeah. It's a major concern. I mean, and it's something that, I mean, a lot of people need to figure out and try to deal with in terms of what they can do and what they cannot do. We can look out for a lot of the issues that are happening now. And I mean, in just a couple of minutes, we can expect the whole process to start. We have some individuals who will be joining us quite shortly. I've just spotted the information minister, Kojo Point-Kroma. He is coming to join us, and we'll hear from him shortly. I mean, it's an important exercise for government as well. We know that government, in terms of the party's ability to retain power, is largely dependent on the performance of the government. And so we have the information minister joining with us. Elton.
All right, thank you very much, Play. Maybe I can borrow your microphone and give it to Kojo. Mr. Information Minister, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon from the MP of Ofonsi IAB.
You know, when I was coming to the conference grounds, I met two people. and I was surprised they were referring to me as Koyo Pankoma. and in fact, this is not the first time. This I don't know.
Well, then I'm in good company. I look like a handsome man.
So Koyo, how is it going? This is perhaps the biggest gathering of the NPP faithfuls ahead of the 2024 election. The next Congress will be decentralized. So this is a time you get to meet people from across the country who share in the same values, just like you are. How is the feeling like?
Well, so quickly, let me make the point that we don't know yet whether the next Congress will be decentralized. We know that the election for the flag bearer will be decentralized, as has been. Now, today, we have the annual conference of the party, the annual conference of the party, as per the party's constitution. It is only that on the agenda, we are electing national executives. So we will have an annual conference next year. I do not know whether the agenda for electing the flag bearer will be put on that or it will be decentralized. Most likely, it will be decentralized because we've already started a decentralized process of achieving that. Because for that one, the executives at the polling station level participate in that vote. But we will still have an annual conference next year.
All right. So today is the day. The main agenda is the election of national officers for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
You are an MP. I'm sure that when this is done, the next stage will be the party to now go into the selection of parliamentary candidates. How are you moving into that, especially from the perspective of Western Yerebi constituency and the kind of people you want to lead the party for the next 4 years?
So, if you take a critical look at what is happening here today, it's only the icing on the cake. We have had elections across 6,000 plus electoral areas, in each of which you find about average 3 to 4 polling stations, where they have had their polling station elections and then have had the electoral area elections, we've had the constituency elections, we've had the regional elections. So we've actually done a lot. Today what's happening here is electing the 10 who will join in appointing the appointees, who will complement the work of the people who do the real campaign on the ground. And I think that what everybody is looking forward to is the election of executives who are keen to complement the work of people on the ground.
The quality of people who put themselves out for election, does it give you hope of a better NPP beyond 2024?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If you look at the quality of your run, you have former deputy ministers, former members of parliament, former national executives, people who've acted as chief executives of some of the state institutions. These are people who have managed affairs at some of the highest levels. It tells you that that is good quality to go into the national administration of the party. But I want to be critically clear that they are here to complement the work of the campaign on the ground. The campaign is what's on the ground. It's not what is hanging at the top.
But again, after this is done, the next stage perhaps who succeed President Akufo-Addo, and then the agenda will be to break the 8. In view of all that is happening, do you think breaking the 8 is still possible?
Oh, it's very possible. You see, first, we admit that Ghana is in a difficult situation as a result of the global difficulties that have affected us. Yet the people of Ghana, and we admit, expect us to respond to that difficulty. First job is to admit, and then second job is to put on the table the kind of measures that are aimed at mitigating the impact. We did a first raft. When we assessed, we realized that some of them have achieved marginal results. Some of them have achieved some good results. We have now enhanced them. We're asking for support from the fund. We're asking for about $1 billion from the global markets. We're asking for some domestic resources. What matters most now is how we use the combination of these resources to create expansion in the Ghanaian economy, more jobs, more incomes for people, and to mitigate the cost of living. I believe that if we do these two well, we will be in pole position for the 2024 election. Crisis comes, sometimes not your fault. Take COVID. We didn't bring it, it hit us. But we were committed to ensuring that we will admit there was a COVID challenge, we will put options on the table, and we'll execute them to ensure that it bears fruit for the people of Ghana. And when we did it, look at the results of the 2020 election. And it's the same situation in which we find ourselves.
Yet your opponents are asking for an apology. Are they justified in that demand?
I think I've mentioned over and over again that what is important is how we get Ghana out of this globally induced crisis. And that the NPP has a track record of getting Ghana out of crisis. President Kufuor, when he came, inherited a huge economic crisis. He opted for HIPIC as an instrument to get us out of it. And he got us out of it to the extent that by the time he was leaving, he was rolling out social protection programs. When President Akufo came to power, the NDC was running an IMF program which had been derailed. You recall the results. We contended with it, got the right results, and got out of that program, and at the same time rolled out social protection programs, free senior high school, one district, one factory, an expansion of free school feeding. When COVID hit us, again, we mobilized. So the NPP has a track record of getting the people of Ghana out of crisis situations. And I am confident that no matter the challenge, holding together, working together, we will get this country out of this crisis.
But you admit that there is general discomfort in the system.
Oh, but I have already told you that the first thing is to admit that there are challenges, obviously not caused by us, but which we have to respond to. And we are doing our best to respond to those challenges.
Is it about time to be information minister?
Second,
is this about time to be information minister?
If you're a soldier on the battlefield, you don't complain whether you are in artillery or you are in infantry. The job that the commander-in-chief gives you is the job you do. He's giving me the job of being the tip of the spear and going out there and responding to critique, answering questions, hearing from the people of Ghana and bringing it in. I get insulted, I get ridiculed, but it is part of my job as a soldier. And I do it for the love of my country and for the love of my party.
So what do you expect should be the decision of delegates today? What should influence who they vote for?
Who can best help us prosecute a strong campaign on the ground for 2024, by which time we expect that the government that the party led would have also dealt with the economic crisis. So that the party and the government can work together behind the new leader of the party for the election 2024.
Thank you very much, Kojo.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is still our coverage of the NPP's National Delegates Conference. The party's anthem has been sung, meaning that we are getting ready for the opening speeches, and then we'll bring you all of it to you here on the JoyNews channel on Multi TV, also on Joy 99.7 FM, on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, and of course around the world at myjoyonline.com and all our affiliates across the country. I'm still here with my colleague Joseph Akabele. Joe, you also realize that a gathering like this is also a platform to test your popularity, especially for the next Delegates Congress of the party, which will be to select who becomes the presidential candidates of the NPP for the 2024 election. When the vice president came in, he went round. The applause was high because clearly he's the vice president and you expect that to happen. I was out there when the trade minister came in. In fact, he came in at a time when the vice president was going around exchanging pleasantries with the faithfuls of the NPP. He was asked to hold on for a while, and later he was ushered in. How does the reception and how you are brought in and how you are received, how does all that play into the popularity contest? That is also key in determining who becomes the next leader of the party.
Everyone likes a popular candidate, but what matters most is those who are going to be doing the voting. And so even though someone like the vice president, who many expect to pick the form when the time comes, and the trade minister would want to be cheered on, their major concern would be whether they are getting their people in the relevant positions. Mind you, they've been monitoring the process right from the branch level when elections were taking place. You don't just wait and contest for flag bearer. You need to have your interest at those levels protected and also follow through the process as well.
So I can't hear, but we'll be back. We'll take you now live to the main podium where the Greater Accra Regional Chairman is about to welcome delegates to the conference 2022 of the governing New Patriotic Party.
Honorable Freddie Blay, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Vice President of the Republic, His Excellency Alhaji Mahamadou Baumia, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Freeman Osei Opare, our founding fathers, members of National Council, ministers and deputy ministers of state, members of parliament, MMDC CEOs, and other government appointees, all party officers here in present, fellow patrons, the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of myself and the good people of Greater Accra region, I wish to welcome all of you to the 2022 National Delegates Conference, proudly hosted by the Greater Accra region. We deem this gesture a great honor and privilege as a region, as it marks our march to win back and deliver the Greater Accra region to the new Patriotic Party come December 2024. We have assembled here in fulfillment of Article 10, Clause 2 of our Constitution. This conference is very critical as it sets the tone for the rejuvenation of the party, ahead of which changing the history and the course of presidential elections in Ghana in the year 2024. And I'm specifically referring to breaking the 8. I would first seize this opportunity to congratulate all newly elected officers of the party and entreat all of us to work very hard in making this history possible. And indeed, I refer to the renewal of the mandate of governance in our great country, Ghana. This conference will witness the election of national executives who will steer the affairs of the party for the next 4 years. And after all is said and done, we should forgive each other for any excesses, come together and unite under a newly elected leadership with the confidence reposed in them, and forge ahead for victory 2024. I say victory because that is the only thing I see beckoning us. Mr. Chairman, the rapidly changing nature of elections and the sophistication of the Ghanaian voter begs the need for the party to invest more in building the capacity of our executive from the polling station to the constituency level. The nature of campaigning and communicating our achievements should recognize the fact that technology in recent times is playing a more significant role in our lives, and we need to complement our traditional mode of party organization to one that embraces the use of technology. One of the critical areas we need to focus on this well-structured communication bureau, encompassing both traditional and the new media, supported by a cohesive research unit that will feed the bureau with well-researched data. The party will also need to relook at its recognition and reward system as party faithfuls increasingly feel their efforts go unrecognized. We need to develop a well-structured welfare and reward system that recognizes sacrifice to our cause. This way, we would have our gallant foot soldiers always working their hearts out for the party, knowing that their toil will be appreciated. Until this is done, the canker of instant reward and over-monetization of our democracy and our internal electioneering process will witness no end and may ultimately lead to the extinction of our values, the values of our noble tradition, one that was built on sacrifice, loyalty, and love for party and country. We should encourage an open discussion on this subject at all levels of the party structure and agree on the best and most sustainable way to achieve this. Mr. Chairman, it is an open secret that the new Patriotic Party is the most loved and favored party in this country. And I am confident that under the leadership of the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the economy will bounce back stronger than before. We need to, however, guard against the apathy of party faithfuls and divisions often associated with the election of flag bearers of our party. Mr. Chairman, as I bring my speech to a close, I want to assure all patriots that the new patriotic party in Greater Accra region is poised to assume its rightful position by winning the presidential and majority seats in Parliament come 2024. We will make history, and we invite our other 15 regions to join hands as we break the 8. It cannot be mere rhetoric. We can make it happen, and so we must. It is possible together. May God bless us and give us the wisdom and fortitude to provide development in freedom for all Ghanaians. Thank you, and God richly bless us.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the regional chairman. That's a brilliant and very brief. Still on acknowledgements, we have friends from our sister political parties. I can see Otokuno, Deputy General Secretary, leading a very powerful delegation, and I think I saw some George somewhere around. Put your hands together for all of them as we welcome the delegates from the various political parties. Please, can you come closer to us here so that the NDC, on behalf of all of you, would also share with us some 3 minutes of what they want to tell us. In the meantime, we invite the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the one who convenes and chairs conferences of our party. He is outgoing, but today is his day, and today is his final day. Let's all put our hands together for the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Westmeu Freddie Blay. Put your hands together once again.
Kukrudu! 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 Your Excellency, Mr. President, Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Chief of Staff, leadership, and members of the Executive Committee of the party, the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of various parties who are here, the media, and of course, members of our great party assembled here. First of all, on behalf of the National Executive Committee and on my own behalf, I wish to welcome all of you to this very impressive National Congress in 2022. First of all, I will wish to thank the National Planning Committee, the Election Committee, and all other committees that had worked hard to bring this Congress that we are all witnessing to. But before I even go further, Mr. President, I will wish to crave your indulgence and that of all the leadership so that we observe 1 minute silence. I learned a very strong, prominent member of our party, Mr. Samuel Kudjetu, passed away yesterday. And in the week, one MCE who was returning after a meeting also died. But these are not the only two I'm referring to. I'm referring to all others that in the 4 years before Congress had passed away. Can you observe 1 minute silence for them? I've been corrected. It's a member of the Council of Elders. It's Agnes Okujetu. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. May their souls rest in peace, in perfect peace, until by His mercy we all meet again on the day that the Lord Himself has set. Mr. President, I will also apologize that we have started this Congress a little late. We came across a few challenges and transportation difficulties about the locations of members from the various regions had caused this. And I deeply apologize for the organizers who were in charge of this. We did not foresee those problems. Now today is yet another evidence of the NPP commitment to deepening our democratic culture and tradition. The theme for this year's Congress is holding together, working together. Rightly so, Mr. President, as we expect to strengthen our bonds and resolve to remain united, we need to invigorate the party by undertaking a few elections as dictated by our Constitution. And today will be the last day for the climax of electing our officers from the constituency to the national level. And after that, I will appeal to all of us to work together, to stand together, irrespective of the result that will, even at this level, come up. Winners or losers, the party is the winner. It will only help to make our party strong, ready, and sharp for the task ahead. I'm talking of 2024. Mr. President, there is a need to deepen and strengthen the sense of inclusion in governance for all party members and ensuring we win the 2024 general election. Honestly, permit me to emphasize that the Nana-led NPP government over these last few years had initiated some of the boldest social economic policies in the history of Ghana to bring about transformational changes in the area of education, healthcare, industry, agriculture, security, tourism, IT, among others. Despite the difficulties imposed on our government by internal and external economic factors in most recent times, we all should be able to present a strong case to the as to why the NPP government should be retained for the continuous improvement of these policies and the overall sustainable development of Ghana. Mr. President, having said so, for some of us, this is our last day as national office holders of the great party. I will therefore use this special occasion to thank all members of the party for the cooperation and support our team and I have enjoyed from you over a period of 8 years. With me having served this great party as first national vice chair, acting national chair, and subsequently as national chairman, my special appreciation goes to the President, Mr. President, you, for all the support you offered our team. The national executives and I inherited a party at a crossroad with so much uncertainty and turbulence. However, through your leadership and support and that of the Council of Elders, Mr. President, and the National Executive Council, our team did deliver 2 successive undisputed general election victories for the NPP on the trot. Indeed, Mr. President, all your actions taken within the party during the period of our administration has been complementary and supportive in growing the NPP influence as a political party of choice in our dear country. Today, I can confidently argue in humility, though, that the party has become more attractive, vibrant, and united. Permit me also to say that the NPP is as much in a better shape than what our team inherited. It has not been easy, Mr. President, or smooth sailing. And in spite of all odds and challenges, through teamwork, tolerance, and patience, we are still together, more united than ever. I will proudly say in humility that we did our best and achieved that much. The NPP is a great party, and we should strive to even make it greater. The growth of the country by way of good governance, economic development, massive infrastructure, and accountability largely depends on the NPP, I dare say so. On behalf of my entire family and the team, I want to thank you all for everything. Personally, from whatever perspective, Mr. President, I remain absolutely grateful and most obliged for the privilege and honor done to me by letting me serve as a national chairman. In conclusion, Mr. President, I strongly appeal and emphasize that we should all continue to remain united and focus on the greater task ahead of us, irrespective of our individual differences, personal ambitions, and disappointments. Always remember that we all have a duty to ensure that come December 7th, 2024, the party is retained in power to continue the good works of yourself and your team. I encourage all to utilize the tools of negotiations and strategic consensus building in uniting and strengthening the party for victory 2024. When need be and duty calls, we should all be willing to make the needed sacrifices and compromises in the interests of the party and the country. Mr. President, let's not make mistake about it. we definitely are in the same boat. And when the party emerges winner, we all win. At this point, Mr. President, I will wish ourselves an incident-free, fair, and transparent election. I thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The national chairman of the NPP, Fredly Wasimewu Blade, former member of parliament for Elembele, former first deputy speaker of parliament, and soon to become former national chairman of the NPP, Fredly Blade. So Blade, he spoke about a lot of things. The parties should work together, stand together. The election must be free and fair, and the will of the delegates must be respected. How crucial are these things?
I mean, very important, and the message of unity that he also touched on. And it's not surprising coming from someone like Freddie Blade for the very reason that the circumstance under which he became the acting chairman of the party at a time that the party was virtually in turmoil. He was able to weather the storm. He's not the most out-and-out chairman that any party may have, but he took over at the time that the party was virtually in crisis. They went through the process. Eventually, the party won the elections and have retained power again. And so he understands the importance of the party remaining united. He also talked about the fact that they need to reinvigorate the party. It's very difficult when you have been in power for 8 years to want to have your mandate extended. And so it's important that they have people who have fresh ideas, who are willing to work hard to ensure that the party wins the elections come 2024.
Right. So that was Freddie Blade, and they are now doing a roll call of the delegates from the various regions and to formally welcome them here to the conference. The next person to speak will be an account from the General Secretary of the NPP, John Boadu. So John Boadu will also be speaking. He will be rendering accounts to conference. Obviously, another platform for him to campaign.
I mean, I think the General Secretary contest is the one to actually look forward to. I mean, I saw JFK a short while ago moving around the venue here, and trust me, he seems to enjoy a lot of support. But the people who are also behind Mr. Boadu believes, just like Freddie Blade, he also came in at a time that the party was in serious crisis. He led them through it, and they believe that he deserves the opportunity to extend his stay in office. He will be having the opportunity, unlike the other delegates, to speak directly to them. And it will be an opportunity, even though he may not be doing it directly, by telling them what the party has been up to, he'll be indirectly telling them what he has been able to do as General Secretary of the party. And so it will be a good opportunity for him.
Those who want to see his back, their main issue they have against John Boadu is that in the last election, 2020, he was very instrumental in what they want to describe as the imposition of candidates on some of the constituents. The reason why the party performed poorly in the last elections, and that's the reason why they don't want to see him continue as General Secretary of the NPP. Do they have any merit in this?
I mean, the party itself has admitted that its parliamentary candidates performed abysmally. In fact, when Evans Mensah had that interview with John Boadu did concede that they had issues, but he says the same period was a period that a lot of governing parties lost elections in 2020 across the world. He made reference to Donald Trump, and he makes the point that the fact that the NPP was able to hold on to power shows that they did something extraordinary. So even though he admits to the poor parliamentary performance, he thinks that they still had a good account for themselves. As to whether that will convince the delegates to give him the chance again, it's another issue altogether. I mean, in terms of the crop of executives that he served with, not all of them are seeking re-election, and so he is also in a unique position of having to have the mandates extended. I think he has gone into the position. Obviously, he starts with a little bit advantage ahead of JFK, who many see as a close contender.
Right, because the argument has always been that the people you elect will influence whether you do well in the next election to come. So if they don't elect people who are the choice of the delegates, then they're going to have problems going forward. We've been told by Senator Samuel Watson that money has become too dirty in this matter. So let's see. We will soon. We are going to the platform. The party external branch are about to render their account to the party. Let's listen to it. So Indeed, what we have is representation from the opposition NDC. They are coming to speak. Solidarity, as they say. And Otugono is the leader of the delegation. We can listen to him.
Joining them still on stage is a delegation from the NDP. They used to be NDC together. Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong.
The NDP delegation, NDP, please.
The NDP delegation.
The NDP delegation
will also have to join them on stage.
Yes,
the NDP.
Joining them also is the PPP delegation.
DPP
no,
delegation.
PPP. PPP has Remy Parko Edmondson. He's the General Secretary of the PPP. PNC delegation, please join us. Please join us. The PNC delegation is led by Janet Nabla, General Secretary.
Madam Janet Nabla is the General Secretary.
Convention. The GCPP has Citizen Atudazi, who is also their General Secretary.
Citizen Atudazi.
APC has Mordecai Tombiado as General Secretary.
Mordecai of the APC.
The Convention People's Party has their General Secretary also fully represented. The first Vice Chairman is Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim, Women's Organizer.
Former First Vice Chairman.
And also Osai Kofi Akwa, the National Youth Organizer for the CPP. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I think that at this stage, we would allow the NDC delegation on behalf, they are the majority of the minority. So the NDC, as the majority of the minority, would speak for and on behalf of all the delegation here. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for that one.
Thank you, National Democratic Congress. Please, all the parties, please join the National Democratic Congress. We will do a majority speech.
Chobai! Chobai! Eyazu! Eyaza! Eyaza! Uyamizu! Uyamiza! Uyamizuza! Uyamizazu! Thank you very much. Your Excellency the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the economic whiskey turned into the digital poster boy, His Excellency, former President John Ajekum Kufuor, the National Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, our friends and comrades from the other parties here present, I extend to you greetings and felicitations from the leadership and membership of the biggest and the most successful political party in Ghana, the National Democratic Congress. Indeed, such gatherings, albeit the biggest congregation of Ghana's problems, are important milestones through which new leaders are elected to man the affairs of political parties in the effort to deepen and consolidate our democratic gains. It also marks a new beginning as fresh ideas can be injected into the leadership of the party, something the NPP government clearly appears to need badly. For most of you here, it is a happy moment, a moment of celebration. For others, it is a defining moment for your political careers. For some of you, it's a cocoa season to harvest from aspirants what you have sowed in service to the NPP. But for the larger mass of the people of this country, it has been a usual day of hunger, misery, and general economic hardship. Ladies and gentlemen, I take particular notice of the levels of ostentation on display
and regret deeply, rather deeply, that the NPP do not exhibit any modicum of the ability to appreciate the need to be sensitive to the people of Ghana in these times of great suffering and pain. Fellow countrymen, ladies and gentlemen, the new Patriotic Party remains the luckiest political organization in Ghana, having to enjoy undeserving level of goodwill from the people, yet have only offered poor leadership, incompetent leadership, leading to the current economic meltdown and hardship for all Ghanaians. The NPP government have been privileged to benefit from a total of about 500 billion Ghana cedi in revenues and about 400 billion cedis in borrowed inflows, compared to some meager 200 billion that accrued under their predecessor, the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Incidentally, Ukraine-Russia war and COVID-19 has become the convenient whipping boy.
Tolerance.
Ladies and gentlemen, in wrapping up, finally, when we were coming, I decided to buy a ball of kenke. This ball of kenke sells for 5 cedis. The leaves on the kenke alone will be 3 cedi, more expensive than the kenke itself. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I bought the kenke with my Ghana card.
Thank you very much, Otukono. Dr. Otukono. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Otukono.
NDC, thank you.
Great speech.
Thank you.
A fantastic speech delivered by Dr. Otukono. We are grateful.
Now we have the CPP to give us a fraternal message.
Thank you.
The CPP, Conventions People Party.
1 minute.
Jantoa, the woman secretary of the party.
All other protocols observed. Today, the new Patriotic Party should be commended for carrying out a successful elections at all levels of the party structures. But the country is not doing well. We are facing difficult times. But as we go into an IMF program, the CPP is urging governments to negotiate a deal that will be favorable to Ghanaians. We are a socialist party, and we are expecting that socialism programs like the free SHS should be left untouched. Government should also ensure that going to the IMF is a stepping stone to economic recovery, not a solution or a permanent fixture. We should come out as soon as possible. Your Excellency, you said that you cannot bring back human beings, but you can bring the economy back. So we are saying that, and we do believe that you have the prowess to do so at this time. Let us all be prudent and know that we need to look after our resources properly. As we go into this election, we believe that you will let the best person win. We believe that the leaders that you choose today will make sure that the party will stand. NPP, as a democratic party, is also part of the democratic dispensation. We thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, John Tua from the CPP. Now we take a 1 minute message from the PNC. Ayekube.
Very much. Thank you very much.
PNC.
No. NDP. Oh, rather. Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. All protocols observed because we don't have time. Since the pandemic, the PNC have laid down its political garment and have taken a nationalistic role to scrutinize government initiatives and have supported them to better the lives of Ghanaians, because we know that when the boat of the state sink, we all will perish with our political ideologies. It is the prayer of the PNC that the government in power will build a united front by asking for help even when it is coming from the opposition. The 1979 Constitution had a clause that mandated all former presidents to be members of the Council of State. This was to strengthen our democracy, unite us, and also to give guidance to newly elected leaders so as not to commit the mistakes that our predecessors did. The PNC would like to use this opportunity to plead with the NPP and the government in power to please pardon Honorable Adjoa Safo. Please pardon him. We have only 275 parliamentarians, and out of these, only 40 are women. For Adjoa Safo to go, it will be left with 39. So we are pleading with you to help us. Look at the front page. They are all men. We have the spouses of the president and the vice president. We have our chief of staff, who is a woman. We have a national women's organizer. Where are they? The Bible says that the same God created all of them, males and females. We should all be treated equally. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we take the NDP. 1 minute.
NDP.
1 minute, please.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Vice President, all protocols observed. The National Democratic Party wish to commend the new Patriotic Party, NPP, and its leadership for today's event of your 2022 National Annual Delegates Conference. The National Democratic Party recognizes a heated national and global economy and thanks the Almighty God that it is not in flames. We, however, wish to sound a caution against any precipitous action that may aggravate the present situation. It is very necessary to identify, isolate, and appreciate the shock absorbers that have elicited your committed, honest leadership so far and lessened or toned down the present economic predicament. The National Democratic Party represents our voiceless and deprived populace, express consternation at the surge of vile conspiracy of the nouveau riche of society to disparage the policy and gains of the free SHS, which had elicited deservingly a commitment of honest leadership in its implementation and managing to date. It is the inveterate conviction of the National Democratic Party that the government should continue to infuse adequate and appropriate leadership for the sustenance of the free SHS program with emphasis on extension and linkage to the TVET program. Indeed, the free SHS policy has enormously ensured wealth distribution to the deprived, served as national saving in human capital for rapid economic development. It has therefore inscribed and imposed irrepealable duty on the governance of our nation. As we go to the IMF, if there are any flaps to remove from the economy, it will surely or obviously not be the free HSS, but beneficiaries of the proportionately and the statutory economic program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. APC, 1 minute. 1 minute, APC.
Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, the First Lady, Madam Samira Bawumia, the Second Lady, Madam Samira Bawumia, the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, all protocol observed. We bring you greetings from our founder and leader, Dr. Hassan Ayarga, and the entire membership of the All People's Congress. Today marks yet another important day in the calendar of the new Patriotic Party, NPP, and we are here to wish you well. The new Patriotic Party, NPP, has come a very long way, and for the party to either make or break in 2024 depends on the decision of delegates today. Fellow Ghanaians, our nation is in crisis. A crisis caused by the National Democratic Congress, NDC, sustained and worsened by the poor policies of the NPP administration. Fellow Ghanaians, economic conditions are worsening by the day. with galloping inflation. Fuel prices keeps rising. Increment of foodstuffs and transport fares become very unbearable. The dollar is rising as if there is no economic management team in government. There is so much suffering and corruption in the land. But Ghana doesn't have to be like this. Ghana deserves better. Times are tough. Ladies and gentlemen, as you prepare to elect your leadership today, we urge the delegates to vote for people with more brains than more money.
Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, APC. We will call the LPG 1 minute. LPG. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. President, Vice President, National Chairman of the National Patriotic Party, the General Secretary, the LPG is here to give solidarity message, to share with you what you are doing. The LPG study Ghanaians and have known they are peace-loving people. And therefore, whatever political agenda we have, we should follow peace. Currently, we have what we call Code of Conduct for political parties. In our campaign, from now up to 2024, we should be guided by the Code of Conduct. In that, we should be able not to do politics of insult, politics of condemnation, which does not promote peace. Ghanaians love peace, and therefore, we politicians must give them peace. Mr. President, we want to call your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, you should be able to give.
Grateful to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for participating. We appreciate your friendship. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, the President, the Vice President, standing on all protocols observed. The PPP appreciates this opportunity to deliver a message of goodwill to the NPP on the question that will culminate in the election of your new national executives. And we wish you a successful and peaceful election and pray that your people vote for the best people to lead your political party for the benefit of the NPP and the nation. And on this special day, we want to offer an agenda to the incoming national executives, which if followed will go to the benefit of all citizens. Firstly, we ask that you resist any attempt to do away with the free SHS. It is a good thing. We want you to do more. Push the executive led by President Akufo-Addo to make education from kindergarten to the end of SHS compulsory. Anyone who says they don't want free SHS should be considered an enemy of development and progress. Secondly, we ask that you push your party to return to the agenda of electing metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives and all assembly members. That is a sure path to accelerated development. Thirdly, we ask that you reduce the number of ministers, including regional ministers, to no more than 40. And this is sure to help reduce government expenditure. And lastly, we ask that you promote indigenous Ghanaian enterprises and support them to grow and go global. Make sure that those your party put in put authority do not collapse them, but rather strengthen them. Thank you.
GCPP, 1 minute.
30 seconds.
The National Chairman, I want to stand on the existing protocols. I bring you greetings from the Chairman and leader of the Great Consolidated Popular Party, Dr. Henry Belati. And on this day, we the GCPP want to wish you all well. And we say that let's charter a new course of our politics. We should stop the equalization. We should stop the blame game. This is the time for us to work together. And that is where I would say the treble and auto kind of policies must cease. We need treble, auto, tenor, and bass to create the harmony that we need for our country to develop. So as delegates, as you vote today. Please, let's
we are grateful.
stand together.
Thank you very much.
And vote
Thank you.
in the end for the country to
And now
develop.
we will invite.
Thank you very much.
Nous avons ici notre frère de la Côte d'Ivoire dans le Parti démocratique du Côte d'Ivoire, Parti du Haut-Fait-Boigné. Vous êtes bienvenus. Et nous avons seulement 12 secondes.
Thank you very much indeed. We are the Democratic Party of Côte d'Ivoire, PDCI. We are Dr. Alakwadjo Remy, Vice Chairman of Côte d'Ivoire, of PDCI, and myself, Ambassador Bamba. We represent PDCI in this important event. We have flown all the way from Abidjan to be here in Accra, the beautiful capital city of Ghana, to be with you, to convey to the valiant people of NPP the fraternal and warm greetings of the PDCI, of all its members and of its leader, President Henri Konan Bédié, who wish an excellent course and fruitful results of the process of your conference. Indeed, we are here today to show the solidarity of PDCI to the NPP in its fight for the promotion of the values and principles of democracy and the rule of law. We also want to express here all the admiration of the PDCI towards the NPP for its decisive contribution to the advancement of democracy in the political life of Ghana, which makes your country the beacon of democracy in West Africa, our sub-region. Finally, we would like to tell all our gratitude to the Patriotic Party for sponsoring the PDCI to become a member of the International Union of Democrats during the last IDU Forum Summit in Berlin, Germany on June 29, 2020. Long live NPP. Long live the friendship between PDCI and NPP. May God bless Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, and Africa. I thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank
We
you
appreciate
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, we are still in conference, holding together, working together. At this stage, the former President of the Republic of Ghana,
former President
JAK,
John Ajakum Kufuor,
Gentle Giant,
is going to speak to us.
Please, silence.
Can we have some order?
Can we have some silence?
All delegates, please take your seats.
Please, some
and
silence.
Let's listen to the former President of the Republic of Ghana,
John Ajakum Kufuor,
the Gentle Giant.
Are we ready?
Fellow party men and women, I'm happy to have this chance to welcome all of us to this all-important conference to select a new crop of the National Executive Committee that would give a functional leadership to the party from now to the year 2024, when our determination as a party is to break the 8. So our party retains power into third term, which hasn't happened before. Let us operate democratically the way our tradition demands of us. We need all the unity we can get and master within the party. So we approach 2024 as a united force, and it would be even more attractive to draw people who are perhaps not of our tradition into our fold. So with the numbers, we'll make the 50% plus one votes represented by the national constitution to take power again. Ghana needs our party to lead it into the prosperity and transformation that must be the aspiration of all of us. So even as we meet to pick our new crop of leaders, chairman, general secretary, and other office holders to lead us forward, I want to appeal to all of you. Let us, from now, select the National Executive Committee of the party on basis not on glib talk, but on careful examination to find out the sort of leadership that would enable us regain the confidence of the people of Ghana, and let us show true respect to the idea, the vision that true sovereignty is with the people generally. When we do that, then our definition of democracy would conform with the idea eloquently expressed as government of, for, and by the people. When we do that, I tell you, most of Ghana would always rally with us and follow the party in terms of governance. I wish you well, and I wish you success in this conference. May God bless NPP and all of us.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, former President Kufuor, for such a powerful message. I hope this message will sync with conference today as we listen to His Excellency, former President John Agyekum Kufuor.
We are holding ourselves together and working together. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We have gotten to the final stage of session 1 of this conference.
We heard former President John Kufuor in a recorded statement to conference of the NPP where he spoke about the values of the party and others. We are still listening to speeches from invited guests and others who have been invited here to participate in the election. And I'm just taking information that President Akufo-Addo is being invited to speak to conference. And he is the President of the Republic, and by the constitution of the NPP, he is also the leader of the party when the party is in power. So he is wearing 2 hats as leader of the party and the President of the Republic. And he's about to deliver his message to conference on this very occasion. Now, we have a sneak peek of some of the things that he'll be talking about. For example, he talks about the fact that the NPP should know that the 2024 elections will be a very difficult elections. And he says that we should endeavor to elect into leadership position people who will be able to overcome the many challenges that we will face. We dare not make mistakes, and we must ensure that we elect people with a deep attachment to the timeless values and principles of the party and its tradition. He says we have shown that we are able to surmount difficulties, but we know that the NPP is at its best when we are united and operate as a focused entity. He goes on to say that it is important, therefore, that we try and avoid as much as possible acrimony as possible in the conduct of the elections. It is so much better that we not inflict wounds on each other rather than spend time trying to mend the wounds after the election. So these are some of the things that we'll be talking about. Party unity, election of the right candidates, and not to engage in insults